Eric Morin and Rebel Sloan at the points. Glenn Netto, Ethan Bacon, and Wally Poster will be on the third line. We'll see action from Joshua Crew, perhaps, and also an honorable mention. So Brian Goodchild and Kurt Bomborgi on the first team All-State. Jeff Brisbane, McGregor Chadwick, and TJ Moran on the second team All-State. And Frankie Vaccaro is an honorable mention. The Coach of the Year, Ted Child of CVU. As they line them up, will be set for the national anthem. Murray and Oletta are the referees for this one, and before the start of this Division II state title game at UVM between Rutland High and North Country, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Looking for its first state title since '83. North Country looking for its first state title since '91. The Raiders will be going left to right here in the first period. The Falcons right to left. Just want to mention we'll hear more from Perry Bove after the first period. You might be able to hear him a little bit in the background. We're experiencing just a little bit of a problem with a piece of equipment here, so we'll have to share a mic. A little bit difficult to do that during the course of the action, but Perry indeed is here to help me out. And I'm really looking forward to this one.
Channel 15 will definitely be able to hear me tonight, so.
That will be too late for our purposes. Assuming nothing else goes down here, we'll be all set.
One of the impressive things that the All-State team there, 5 of those 13 players came from the Rutland region. I think that says a lot for the Rutland program.
Yes, it does. Mary mentioning that 5 of the first and second team All-State players coming from Raha, if you will. And there's 2 on the first team, 3 on the second, actually 6 when you count the honorable mention for Frankie Vaccaro. So Mark Sloan is the big key for North Country, certainly in the net. He has been superb. This is the 4th time we've seen the Falcons, and he's been red hot in every game, even on the losing end. He played maybe not as well against MSJ that first time, of course, but he he gave up 7 goals, but if I remember correctly, he had something like 36 saves, and then he had 29 saves in the North Country quarterfinal victory over MSJ a week ago tonight. So he's a big key, and of course Andy Marshall, the big key offensively, as they are the seniors leading this club that is chock full of freshmen. So the Raiders going left to right here in the first period. North Country going right to left. Will be underway here momentarily. Stowe won the Division III title game 3-2 over Union 32. It's Moran with Campbell and Goodchild, Daly and Vaccaro. The first line as we gave it to you for North Country. Marshall with Limoges and Colburn. And it's Uri and Labor at the points, and the puck down. We're underway, folks. The Division II state championship game at UVM as Marshall skates it into the Raider zone right off the bat here, but it's offside North Country, and we'll have the draw just outside the Raider zone. Army Colburn, as we mentioned already in our pregame comments, the 139-pound Vermont Golden Gloves champ. He's on this first line for North Country as Moran and Marshall on the draw. Off the draw, Campbell has it at his own line, lost it to Marshall, then Campbell got it back again and squirts the puck into the North Country zone, and backboard is Uri, shadowed by Goodchild. Uri gets it to Marshall. Marshall behind his own cage, trying to go up right wing side for Colburn, kept in far corner by TJ Moran. Now Marshall with it behind his own cage and sets it out right wing side, but kept in by Vaccaro. Sends it in behind Mark Sloan, comes to the near corner, and a dugout by Marshall as he tries to clear it away. In forechecking as Sam Hall. TJ Moran at the right wing circle, fires in, saved by Sloan. And the rebound knocked around as Colburn skates it out to center after getting a pass from Marshall at center ice. Now here's Limoges over the Raider line, poke checked away by Sam Hall, and he swats it behind his own goaltender for Frankie Vaccaro. He tries to clear it out. Campbell poking at it, got it out to center to TJ Moran over the red line, over the Falcon line. TJ to the left wing circle in front to Goodchild. He fanned on it, went right down the slot, and we got a stoppage in play here as Scott Labor went crashing into his own net. So the first bit of the hockey game really for the Raiders, and a Goodchild couldn't get a stick on it going right down the slot. No score, 13:57 remaining here in the first period.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Goodchild. TJ Moran set him up from the left wing right across the crease, but Sloan was there to make the save.
And of course, right after that, Labor went into his own cage, knocking it off the mooring, so we'll have the draw in the Falcon zone. Second Raider line out there now, but North Country controls. Out at center is Marsh, sends it into the zone for Jason Lamori, but too far for him as Daly got back. Sends it to Gunther in behind his own goaltender, sends it out near boards for Kahle to Maxfield. Got it out to center, but Marsh had it and then lost it to Maxfield. Skates it over the line. Wrist shot goes off the glass in behind Sloan to the near corner as Gunther and Kahle are in forechecking along the near boards. North Country zone comes out to J.B. Smith, top of the right wing circle. Fires right in front, knocked down there and cleared out to center by the Falcons. It'll trickle all the way into the Raiders zone, and backboard is Ryan Maxfield. No score, 13-17 remaining here in the first period. And Kahle into his own line as he got out to center. Rebel Sloan sends it back into the zone, but J.B. Smith sends it out to center. And Lamori had it knocked down by Maxfield at the red line. Now Morin with it, and Morin had it poked away as it comes along his own line to the near boards, and Kahle with it in the zone. Kahle got hit, sent it to the far corner, but Gunther couldn't skate it down. It comes all the way around the boards. Colburn is hit out to Daly at the left point, shoots it in wide, and the rebound all the way around the boards for Darren Kahle. Out to the right point to J.B. Smith, sends it to the end board, in behind the cage for Gunther, trying to center it. Marsh knocks it away off the far boards. Maxfield got it back again to Daly at the left point, sent it toward the far corner, and Morin backboard, sends it out to Sean Marsh, right wing side. Marsh gets it out to center, right onto the stick of Colburn. Colburn to the left wing circle, Raiders zone. Bump, but he gets it to Limoges. Limoges is hit in front by Matt Daly. Daly picks up the puck and clears it out to center off the far boards into the North Country zone, where Prue sends it back out to center for the Falcons. To Colburn to Marshall over the Raider line. Marshall, right wing circle, whistles it in, save! Coppinger, and he hangs on. And that's the first big save of the hockey game for Mike Coppinger. A whistler from Marshall at the right wing circle. No score, 12:08 remaining first period.
Yeah, Marshall with a couple of nifty moves there, went from right to left, had the Raider defender kind of stood up. He took a quick shot on Coppinger. Nice save.
TJ Moran and Marshall on the draw to the left of Coppinger, Raiders zone. As it's swatted around by Hall along the near boards for Gene Campbell, but in forechecking is Marshall near corner, Raiders zone. Marshall sends it out to the point to Labor. Shoots in, deflected wide as it goes to the far corner. And Goodchild swats the puck all the way into the North Country zone. Backcourt Labor swings it around his own goaltender. Sends it along the near boards for Marshall. Bumped by Campbell, but Marshall swings it around as he wanted to go up the right wing side. Got it to Labor to Colburn, and Colburn up to Marshall, up over the red line, over the Raider line on Frankie Vaccaro. Frankie rides him off the puck. Frankie picks up the puck and sends it ahead to Goodchild, but lost it in the zone for a moment to Limoges. Poked away, but it goes right to Frankie Vaccaro, and he swats it out to center for Gene Campbell to Moran. Over the North Country line and getting back to knock it away his crew. Along the near boards, Campbell with it. Campbell backhands it to the slot where the shot by Goodchild goes wide. TJ Moran along the far boards out to Vaccaro. One times it goes in wide. Played off the end board by Campbell. Gene Campbell looking at the end board, sends it right in front. Knocked away. Campbell tried to get it back again, but couldn't quite skate it down. And finally it's cleared out by Labor up to Limoges. And Limoges sends it all the way into the Raider zone, the length of the ice. And this is icing against North Country. 10:56 remaining first period. No score. North Country and Rutland. And Shotwell, Johnson, and Casey come in for the Raiders. J.B. Smith and Matt Daly at the points. And it's Marsh with Lindsey Moore and Jason Lamourie up front for North Country. Draw to the left of Mark Sloan in the North Country zone. We'll have to catch him more after the period, Perry. Comes out to the right point to Smith. Drops it in, and it's knocked away by Sloan. A bouncing puck. Shotwell in forward checking. Shotwell on Morin. Trying to center it, knocked away by Sean Marsh. Marsh sends it out right wing side, and the Falcons get it out to center as it's kicked into the Raider zone by Lamourie, and backboard is Matt Daly. Lost it to Lamourie along the far board. Shotwell, though, gets it back again for the Raiders. Skates it out to center. Shotwell's pass goes behind Casey as it trickles in the length of the ice, North Country zone, and this will be icing as that came from outside the red line. Icing against Rutland High. We'll have the draw back in the Raider zone to the left of Mike Coppinger. No score, 10:25 remaining here in the first period.
Yeah, North Country here, what Rutland has to do is they have to stop Andy Marshall. Andy Marshall is their prime offensive player, and if they can cut them down from that point, I think they'll do well. And they also have to shoot a lot on Sloan and get the rebounds with Sloan.
Both teams have had one legitimate threat so far. The draw to the left of Coppinger, and off the draw, Gunther skates it out, sends it up to Maxfield. Off the near boards for Kahle. North Country zone, back to Maxfield, backhander. He scores! The Raiders draw first blood. Ryan Maxfield, 1-0 Rutland. 10:15 remaining first period. Maxfield, who drew first blood the other night, draws first blood tonight. 1-0 Rutland.
Yeah, Mark Sloan on that one, actually, he was looking behind the net. When he turned around, Maxfield took the shot, and there was no hope, but right in between his legs.
Loading on the assist. And also Gunther. Maxfield puts the Raiders on top of the championship game, 1-0, just like he did the other night in the semi. Play back in, it's in the Raiders zone, back forward Matt Daly. Daly tries to clear it out, knocked down by Labor, but it goes to Kahle had it poked away by Labor back into the Raider zone, and back forward Ryan Maxfield. Chops it ahead now for Daly, wanted to go to Gunther behind him, picked up by Andy Marshall over the Raider line. Along the near boards, bumped by J.B. Smith, but still controlling to the end board. Bumped by Smith and Gunther, knocked away by Coppinger, but it went right to Limoges in behind the cage. Sent it to Marshall, and off the far boards now with it, far corner is Carmi Colburn. And he's bumped off the puck in behind Coppinger as the Raiders try to clear it out. Pass along the near boards intended for Kahle. Stolen away by Labor, and his quick shot from the near boards. Coppinger makes the save and hangs on. 1-0 Rutland with 9:29 remaining here in the first period. Raiders getting the goal from Ryan Maxfield, from Darren Kahle and Mike Gunther. Draw to the right of Coppinger is Moran's line back in. Campbell skates it out to center. Campbell sends it into the North Country zone. Rebel Sloan tried to swat it away, but stolen away by DJ Moran. In behind Sloan. DJ Moran skates it toward the left wing circle out to the left point to Vaccaro. One times it. And it's off the boards in behind Sloan. Comes all the way around along the near boards, but Moran keeps it in. Sends it to the end board. Where it's chopped at by Morin. Then the puck goes loose, and Sloan knocks it to the near corner where Goodchild centers it for Moran. And his quick shot saved by Sloan. And the Falcons clear it back down all the way into the Raider zone wide of Coppinger. And this is icing against North Country. Moran had a big save off the right pad, maybe the right skate of North Country goaltender Mark Sloan. 1-0 Raiders, 8:53 remaining here in the first period. DJ Moran with Campbell and Goodchild, Sam Hall and Frankie Vaccaro at the points. The draw to the right of Mark Sloan in the North Country zone. As the Sean Morse line in. Quick shot, they're poking at it in front, saved by Sloan. That came right off the draw from Moran in front. Vaccaro couldn't keep it in at the right point. It's back out to center. Frankie Vaccaro swats it back into the North Country zone where Rebel Sloan steals, sends it off the far boards to Morse, got it into the Raider zone, but then he tried to pass it left wing side, keep back out to center, and Casey sends it ahead to Goodchild over the North Country line, top of the right wing circle, bounces it off TJ Moran, down to the top of the left wing circle to Hall, backhands it toward the near corner. Backboard Morin, and Goodchild in to forechecking, now Moran with it to Casey, right wing circle, shot, save, Sloan, and he hangs on, he has that one between his pads, as the Raiders, who have been boosted by that Ryan Maxfield goal, putting on some pressure on the senior goaltender from North Country, and he's a good one, Mark Sloan. 1-0 Raiders, 8:15 remaining here in the first period.
Yeah, that's what Rutland has to do. They have to take more shots on Sloan and hope for the rebound. They haven't been doing that in earlier contests, but they have been doing it in the last couple of games.
The draw to the left of Sloan. Shotwell is in with Johnson, Casey, Smith, and Daly. As it went to Labor, swings it around far boards for Carmi Colburn. Colburn swatted it off the far board, stolen away by Shotwell. Went right by Prue, then falls down, and Andy Marshall with it. And lost the puck at the side of his own cage, and Johnson couldn't get a stick on it. Back to Marshall, swings it behind his own net, starts it off left wing side. Marshall up to center off the near boards to Limoges. Limoges over the Raider line. Limoges to the slot, and the shot knocked away as it comes to the near corner. Centering pass knocked away by Johnson, but it comes out to Labor. Labor to the right wing circle. Wrist shot deflected by Coppinger. They went back to Labor at the circle, lost it to Marshall, flips it in front, knocked down. J.B. Smith manages to get it out to Shotwell. His clearing pass stolen away by Limoges, and a shot from just inside the line. Loved by Coppinger, and Coppinger hangs on. 1-0 Raiders with 7:27 remaining in the first period. Here at the University of Vermont Gutterson Fieldhouse, the Division II state championship game. We'll have the face-off to the right of Mike Coppinger.
Coppinger just dominating on that last drive.
It's Marshall with Colburn and Limoges, Labor and Prue in there right now for North Country. Gunther is in right now for the Raiders. His line is the shot top of the left wing circle by Labor, deflected to the end board. Marshall with it, bumped by Sam Hall. Marshall goes to his knees, tries to go out to the point, but Kahle finds it and clears it out. And did it go up into the bench area? I believe it did, up into the penalty box area and out of play. So we'll have a face-off again here in the Raiders zone to the right of Mike Coppinger. Gunther, Kahle, and Maxfield with Hall and Vaccaro in there right now for the Raiders. Lamori is in along with Postman. And also in there is Lindsey Moore with Rebel Sloan and Eric Morin at the points. Off the draw, Gunther looking for it, but Lamori with it. The slot shot knocked down by Vaccaro. Goes to Postman, right wing circle. Shot deflected to the far corner. Moore tries to center it. Knocked away by Gunther out to the right point to Rebel Sloan. His shot gloved by Coppinger, and he hangs on. And Mike Coppinger, who told Chuck Loreno from the Rutland Herald the other day, is in that zone, and he continues to be there here tonight. 1-0 Raiders, 7:03 remaining first period.
Boy, Mike Coppinger did a great job on that one. He's totally attacking the puck, grabbing any chances Northfield has. He's all over the place.
Face off to the left of Mike Coppinger in the Raiders zone. It's Gunther's line still in there. The Raiders, Gunther and Lamori on the draw. Goes to Daly, swats it around along the near boards for Kahle, but kept in by Moore into Postman to the left wing circle to Lamori. Lamori looking, shot knocked down by Maxfield and J.B. Smith. J.B. plays it along the near boards, and Kahle backhands it all the way back down into the Falcon zone. Back for it, Rebel Sloan. Lost it to Maxfield. Maxfield and Rebel Sloan. Maxfield trying to center it, knocked down by Sloan. Maxfield went down, got back up again, has it near corner, and he sends it out for Kahle in behind the cage, trying to go to J.B. Smith down the slot, but it's cleared away, and the Falcons get it out to center. With it is Lamore. Lamore had it poked away by Daly, but got it into the Raiders zone, and back for it is Gunther. And Gunther tries to clear it away, but Labor keeps it in at the right point, swats it around the boards to the near corner. Over for it is Morin. Morin checked by J.B. Smith, puck loose to the end board, and Mike Gunther with it. Gunther lost it to Postman, far corner, still in the Raiders zone. Maxfield finds it, tries to backhand it out, kept in by Labor. His shot, oh, by Coppinger, and he hangs on. Labor right on that shot, but Coppinger comes up with a glove save and again hangs on. 1-0 Raiders on the goal by Ryan Maxfield. 6:01 left in the first period.
Yeah, that was a really big play by Mike Coppinger. He totally dominated on his glove side again. He feels real confident in net. You could see that. And I think he's going to be doing a heck of a job this rest of this period.
We're in the Division II state championship game here at the University of Vermont Gutterson Fieldhouse. Moran's line back in for the Raiders against Marshall off the draw. Moran and Marshall. Marshall chops it to the far corner. Colburn goes to his knees, gets up again, centers it for Limoges off his stick. It goes behind the case of the end board. Raiders try to clear it out. Labor keeps it in right by Sam Hall to the near corner. Limoges in forechecking. Limoges to Marshall. Marshall bumped by Moran. Puck comes loose. Moran grabs it. Colburn in forechecking. Moran sends it to the far boards. Now Sam Hall with it. The Raiders still trying to clear as Marshall is in forechecking. Hall finally swats it away for Goodchild. Sends it back to Hall up to center. Sam Hall now, right wing pass for Campbell over the North Country line. Shoots it in from the near board, swatted away by Sloan. He swats it away again as it came off the end board. The Falcons started out the other way. Limoges gets it out to center to Marshall. Up over the red line, over the Raider line along the near boards, bumped by Matt Daly to the near corner. Daly and Marshall. Moran tries to clear it away and does to Goodchild. To Campbell still in the zone, but Campbell gets it out to center to Goodchild. To Moran to the line. Rifles it in, and the glove saved by Sloan, and he hangs on. From the blue line, T.J. Moran, and it looked like he had that net targeted on that one, and Sloan came up with a big glove save. It's 1-0 Rutland, 5:01 remaining first period as Shotwell, Casey, and Johnson are in, along with Matt Daly and J.B. Smith.
Yeah, 3 beautiful break passes for Rutland, and finally the shot by Moran. That looked like it had goal written all over it, but Sloan was there to snag it.
Amore taking the draw for North Country. He shot well for the Raiders to the left of Sloan, North Country zone. Off the draw comes along the near boards, and the Falcons clear it out to center. All the way back down into the Raider zone, and back forward is J.B. Smith. Starts it behind his own goaltender. Postman in forechecking. Knocked it away for a moment. Johnson got it up to Shotwell. Shotwell gets it to center, then lost it to Lamore, who sends the puck back into the Raider zone, and with it is J.B. Smith. Sends it out to center off Moore, but it goes right to George Casey. George Casey over the red line. Casey sends it now to Johnson in the zone. Johnson sends it to the end board behind Mark Sloan. He gets back and swats it away, but Shotwell grabs it, sent it in front, knocked down by Morin. Now Johnson with it again. Trying to go to Shotwell along the near boards. Johnson and Shotwell. They're pinching up along the near boards, but the Falcons control now as it's cleared out by Morin up to Postman at the red line. Lost it to Casey. Back over the North Country line. Casey left to right to the right wing circle. Weak shot in on Mark Sloan, and he smothers the puck and covers up with Jason Johnson doing a dive right in front of Sloan, a la Bobby Orr when he won the Stanley Cup of the Bruins in 1970. 4:06 left first period. Rutland 1 and North Country nothing. The goal by Ryan Maxfield from Darren Kahle and Mike Gunther. The face-off to the right of Mark Sloan in the North Country zone. Gunther, Maxfield, Kahle, Sam Hall, and Frankie Vaccaro in for Rutland. It's Marshall again in that line, the first line for North Country, along with Carmi Colburn and Scott Limoges. Off to the right of Mark Sloan, and it's swatted around by the Falcons near side. It comes up for Limoges. Limoges tries to clear it out, kept in by Kahle, sent it toward the end board. Back for it, Labor. Labor at a point along with Joshua Prue. Sends it along the near boards for Limoges. Up to Marshall. Marshall sends it out to center for Colburn over the red line. Bumped by Vaccaro. Got it into the Raiders zone where Hall pokes it out to center for Kahle. Poked away by Marshall again. Hall and Marshall at center. Kahle there. So is Limoges and Labor sends it into the Raiders zone, but Vaccaro with it in front of his own goaltender. Swings around behind his own goaltender. Tried to clear it out, kept in by Prue. Got knocked down at the circle by Hall and went to Colburn at the end board. Over for Vaccaro, lost it to Marshall. Skates it to the near corner. Andy Marshall centers it, swatted away by Coppinger as it went across the crease. Out to Prue at the point. Fires in, deflected, high into the air, in behind Coppinger. With it now is Limoges. Limoges trying to center it. Coppinger knocked it away. Limoges gets it back again. Vaccaro cleared Limoges out right in front. Raiders trying to clear, kept in by Prue at the right point. Flips it in, knocked down at the circle, and starting it out is Gunther. 2:58 left first period. The Raiders lead it 1-0. Kahle now in the North Country zone, trying to go back to Gunther, but intercepted in front. Goodchild coming over, poking at the puck, but it's cleared out to center by Labor. With it now is Frankie Vaccaro. Got it back into the North Country zone. Labor clears it back out again, and Goodchild with it from outside the blue line. Rifles it in, and it's gloved by Mark Sloan. He'll drop it behind his net to Labor, who swats it around, but kept in by Campbell. The Goodchild one-times it at the slot, gloved by Sloan, and he hangs on. 1-0 Raiders, 2:32 left first period here at the University of Vermont Gutterson Fieldhouse. Moran with Campbell and Goodchild, Daly and J.B. Smith at the points. The face-off to the left of Mark Sloan. In the North Country zone, it's Lamoury's line. In for North Country. Morey and Moran. Off the draw goes to Rebel Sloan. Finally, the Falcons get it out to center where Daly swats the puck back into the North Country zone. That was swatted out to center by Moore. Now in for checking the Raiders, Brian Goodchild. Morin, though, finds it, gets it out to Postman, but Postman can't clear. Kept in by Goodchild. Lost it to Morin. And Morin will start it behind his own cage, decides against it and sends it out right wing side for Postman, and Postman sends it out to center now, right onto the stick of Moore, and Moore is cleared out by J.B. Smith at the Raider line. It went in front. Lindsey Moore gets it back again at the slot, fires in, knocked away by Coppinger, but they gone wide anyway. He might have got a piece of that. Rebel Sloan keeping it alive to Postman. And Postman right in front. He kept it live to Lamoury. Lamoury trying to find Postman in front. And the Raiders cover up the puck right in front of Mike Coppinger. And matter of fact, Coppinger came up with a puck, and we have a stoppage in play here. It was Postman in front, got the pass from Lamoury. Stoppage in play with 1:46 remaining here in the first period at UVM. Rutland 1, North Country 0. Lamoury and KJ Moran on the draw to the right of Mike Coppinger. And off the draw goes to Frankie Vaccaro. Swats it around his own goaltender up left wing side for Goodchild. Pulls it up to center to Campbell. Campbell over the North Country line to the left wing circle, trying to center it, knocked away by Rebel Sloan. The Goodchild turn around for the circle, save Sloan. Campbell trying to get a stick on it, cleared away, and here come the Falcons the other way as they get it out to center. Postman off the near boards, wanted to go to Moore, sent back into the zone by Hall. Backboard is Morin, and we have a whistle here, and the first penalty of the hockey game. We have a hooking call coming up with 1:22 left in the first period, and the Raiders in front by a score of 1-0. And let's see, going off for hooking, this will be a Raider power play. Will be
Eric Morin.
Is it Morin? Is it number 18 or 16 going off?
Penalty charged to number 16.
It's Moore.
Lindsey Moore.
Lindsey Moore going off for hooking. So the Raiders go on the first power play of the game with 1:22 remaining in the first period. Raiders have a 1-0 lead. The draw will come in the North Country zone to the left of Mark Sloan, Gunther and Marshall, and off the draw, the Falcons clear it the length of the ice. And Coppinger will leave it for Brian Goodchild, named as the All-State first team player that we announced earlier tonight. Gets it out to Maxfield. Maxfield over the red line. Gets bumped at the North Country line as it goes to Colburn. And he clears it away for Labor. Labor holding it in his own zone and sends it out to Marshall. Over the Raider line, he'll go in alone on Coppinger, backhander, and Coppinger knocked it away. Great play by Coppinger on the breakaway by Marshall. J.B. Smith lost it in the zone. Marshall gets it back again. In behind the cage, the Raiders are on the power play here, but Marshall tries to turn around, then goes to Colburn, shot from the slot, goes wide. As it might have, Coppinger might have got a piece of that. Now Marshall with it. I don't believe it did. It did go wide. Marshall now, and Smith and Gunther still in the Raiders zone. And skating out now is Gunther. Gunther sends it up the center, but we got the whistle and a stoppage in play.
be holding.
With a minute 2 left on that penalty to Moore, but we have a holding call coming up here against the Raiders with 24 seconds left in the first period. It's on Sam, who is it on?
J.B. Smith.
It's on J.B. Smith. So J.B. Smith going off for holding, so they'll be skating 4-on-4, carrying over into the second period, and in a minute and 2 seconds when Moore is back, it would be a 58-second North Country power play in the second period. We have 24 seconds left in the first period. It's 1-0 Rutland. Great save by Coppinger on that breakaway by Marshall, shorthanded. Marshall and Moran on the draw, comes out to Labor. Labor fires in, deflected, and Coppinger trying to swat it away, and I believe he did, but the cage came off the mooring anyway. So 16 seconds left in the first period, and 54 seconds left on the penalty to North Country's Lindsey Moore. Minute 52 left on J.B. Smith's penalty. They're skating 4-on-4. That'll carry over into the second period, and it would be a, let's see, minute and 2-second power play for North Country. Off the draw, Labor tried to go to Urey at the right point, but it comes out of the zone. Moran with it over the North Country line. TJ Moran goes in on Sloan, and Sloan makes the great save. Moran put on a great move. 3 seconds left in the period. Daly at the point sends it toward the corner where Labor knocks it down and plays the puck for North Country. That's the end of the first period here at the University of Vermont Gutterson Fieldhouse, and it is Rutland 1, North Country 0, as Coppinger stoned Marshall on a breakaway. TJ Moran, who put on a nifty move going down the slot, stoned by Mark Sloan late in the first period. A minute 36 left on J.B. Smith's penalty for the Raiders. 38 seconds left on Lindsey Moore's penalty for North Country. So we played a period in the Division II state championship game. After a period, our score, Rutland 1 and North Country 0. We'll be back after this timeout. North Country's Lindsey Moore, a minute 36 left on the penalty to J.B. Smith of the Raiders. It would be a 58-second power play for North Country after Moore is back, so they're skating 4-on-4. Marshall with Colburn, Labor, and Urey for the Falcons. It is Moran, Goodchild, Daly, and Vaccaro for the Raiders. And we're underway here. Sloan in the net off to our left. Coppinger in net off to our right. Daly sends it into the North Country zone, and Sloan leaves it for Urey. 30 seconds left on that penalty to Moore. And when he's back, it'll be a power play for North Country. Colburn up over the red line. Pass deflected by Moran, but Colburn gets it into the Raiders zone. Then he gets bumped by Moran as it goes to the end board. Daly tries to swat it out. Kept in at the left point by Labor. Labor sends it to the end board in behind Coppinger. Over for Frankie Vaccaro along the near boards, and he sends the puck way up into the air and into the bench area and out of play. We have a stoppage in play. And the clock is still moving and move for about 3 more seconds. Early going second period. It's now 2 seconds left on the Moore penalty, and when he comes back, it'll be a 58-second North Country power play as J.B. Smith remains in the box. They might hold the clock for a couple of seconds here. I don't know. I think I saw the referee look to the timekeeper. They put the puck down, and Urey at the red line sends it ahead to Colburn. Moore is back. North Country on the power play now for 52 more seconds as Vaccaro sends it up to Moran, and Moran clears it out to center. Urey at the red line sends it by Colburn back into the Raiders zone and back for Brian Goodchild. He finds an opening and swats it off the far boards into the Falcon zone as Sloan trying to leave it for Urey. Moran steals the wraparound. He scores! TJ Moran short-handed. Urey gave up the puck in behind his own cage, and TJ Moran found the puck, and the wraparound beat Mark Sloan. 2-0 Raiders with 14:01 left here in the second period. And that one short-handed. 37 seconds remaining on the North Country power play.
Oh, big mistake by Mark Sloan. He went to sweep the puck around the back of the net. He didn't see TJ Moran flying down the ice, who came around and stuffed it in on the other side. What a play.
TJ Moran, actually Urey had given up the puck, the defenseman there too. Play back in as the power play continues for North Country. It's in the North Country zone, and back forward is Urey. 2-0 Raiders. Wrap around, shorthanded by Moran. Out to center Marshall. 20 seconds left on the Falcon power play. Gets it over the Raider line on Kahle. Marshall in behind Coppinger. He tries to center it. They're poking at it. Limoges had it knocked wide as Frankie Vaccaro with it. Maybe Coppinger got a piece of that. Vaccaro tries to clear it out. Kept in by Uri to the end board. Daly over for it. 2 seconds left in the power play for North Country as the Raiders clear at the length of the ice on Sloan. The penalty is over. Both teams at full strength now. Still in the North Country zone. Gunther had a shot deflected from the top of the left wing circle. Comes to the near corner. Uri swats it around. But over forechecking is Maxfield. Trying to center it. Knocked down by Marshall. Marshall now. Stick handling for the Falcons. He tries to clear it out. Knocked down in the zone by Gunther. Labor finally does clear it out as Daly couldn't keep it at the point. And back toward his own zone is Frankie Vaccaro for Rutland High. Up to Kahle. Kahle over the North Country line. Kahle drops it for Maxfield. Left wing circle. His shot goes in wide. With it, Kahle played it off the end board. Brings it to the far boards now. Lost it to Limoges. And he clears it back down into the Raider zone. And back toward Frankie Vaccaro, chased by Marsh. Vaccaro sends it off the near boards. Is in forechecking Lamori. It went right by him, and skating it out to center is Gunther. Gunther to Kahle along the near boards. Falcon zone, tried to center it, and nobody there except for Lindsey Moore. Lindsey Moore skates it out to center for the Falcons to Marsh. Over the Raider line, top of the left wing circle, dumps it into the far corner. It goes in behind Coppinger as the Raiders control now with Frankie Vaccaro, and he swats it off the far boards, and it trickles all the way to the North Country zone, and back forward is Eric Morin for the Falcons. He clears it up to center for Sean Marsh. Chopping at the puck is Goodchild at center. Puck comes right along the red line to Campbell over the North Country line. Top of the slot, wrist shot save by Sloan. Goodchild couldn't get a stick on the rebound, but Goodchild had it again far corner and then lost it. Now Morris starts it behind his own cage for North Country. Starts it off right wing side. It was deflected by Lamori up to center. And Hall with it back over the Falcon line. Hall right wing circle, shot wide along the near boards, played by TJ Moran. He's bumped, and now North Country starts it out. Is skating it out to center is Morin. Bumped at center by Campbell as Vaccaro trying to swat it out and went right to Moore, got it into the Raiders zone, but back forward to steal is TJ Moran to Goodchild over the Falcon line. Goodchild cuts it in on Sloan and makes the right pad save as he didn't get a good shot away, and a penalty is coming up for slashing here. And a little bit of fisticuffs, Brian Goodchild and Mark Sloan. 11:17 left second period. It's 2-0 Rutland. That TJ Moran goal, short-handed, by the way, was unassisted. Is Uri and Sloan. Sloan tried to leave it for Uri. If I remember correctly, I'm not sure if Uri ever got the puck or not, but he virtually gave it up because Sloan thought Uri, the defenseman, would pick that up. The penalty against North Country. And it's Eric Morin going off for slashing. So the Raiders go on the power play. They have the draw in the North Country zone. Kahle in front wanted to go to Gunther by him out to Goodchild at the point. Whistles it in, it goes wide. Rebound along the far boards for Maxfield. The Raiders on the power play. Ryan Maxfield now to Goodchild. Left wing circle, sends it for J.B. Smith. Trying to swat it toward the end board, knocked away by Pooh. And Goodchild couldn't keep it in at the point. He has to go back into his own zone and collect for Rutland High. 1:35 left on the Raider power play. Wanted to go up to Maxfield, but stolen away in the zone by Andy Marshall. Left to right, Andy Marshall, stick handling. Gets it to the circle, now to the far corner. Marshall still stick handling and ragging the puck in the Raider zone. Chased by Gunther, spun around by Gunther. The puck finally picked up by Goodchild, and he starts it up the middle for Rutland High. Up to center, Brian Goodchild. Up over the red line from outside the blue line, whistles it in. Sloan, the save. Labor sends the rebound to the far boards, then banned on it. Well, he finally got the puck and cleared it the length of the ice. It looked like he initially banned, but Sloan again made the save before, and again Labor clears it the length of the ice. Maxfield now starts it up the middle for the Raiders. Up to center for TJ Moran. Stick handling over the line. TJ Moran wanted to go to Daly, but it was poked away by Labor. Daly plays it near corner and sends it to the far boards. 45 seconds left on the Raider power play. Marshall with it in his own zone and clears it the length of the ice for North Country. The Raiders lead it 2-0 with 9:55 remaining here in the second period as it's pinched up along the boards and digging it out now. Campbell starts it up the middle out of his own zone for the Raiders. 28 seconds left in the Raider power play to Moran. Off his stick as he got it into the zone. Rebel Sloan clears it back down into the Raider zone, and back forward is Frankie Vaccaro. Frankie Vaccaro sends it too far for Moran. It'll go wide of Mark Sloan. And this will be icing against Rutland High, so we'll have the face-off back in the Raider zone to the right of Mike Coppinger. Rutland 2, North Country nothing. 9:34 left here in the second period. 17 seconds left on the Rutland power play.
Yeah, TJ Moran on that last bid had Daly on the left-hand side. He couldn't quite push it to him. That would have been a one-on-0 situation for Rutland if they did accomplish that.
Out to the right of Coppinger, Lamore for North Country, TJ Moran for the Raiders. The Raiders have 17 seconds left in their power play opportunity. Off the draw, loose in the circle. And with it is Campbell now. Backtracks toward the end board, then sends it up to center for Goodchild. Goodchild to Daly over the North Country line. Wanted to go in front to Moran. Deflected. It goes to Vaccaro. Backhander from the circle. The save, and they score! On the rebound. It is a power play goal. 3-0 Raiders.
Frankie Vaccaro.
Frankie Vaccaro on the rebound, I believe. The initial save by Sloan.
Backhander.
Vaccaro on the backhander beats Sloan, and it is a power play goal, and the Raiders lead it 3-0 in the state championship game with 9:19 left in the second period.
Yeah, Frankie Vaccaro took the backhander. He had plenty of time. It's just kind of a weak shot on net, but it were right in between Sloan's legs.
Wait a minute. Who did they? They did give it to TJ Moran, apparently.
Assisted by number 15, Matthew Healey, and number 16, Frank Vaccaro.
Vaccaro got an assist. And Vaccaro, so they did give it to TJ Moran.
Healey and Vaccaro at 5:41.
It might have been tipped. Okay, apparently TJ Moran tipped it.
Yeah.
After Vaccaro actually, Vaccaro shot, then the rebound, and Vaccaro's backhander, but it apparently was tipped by Moran. At any rate, it is a power play goal, and the Raiders lead it 3-0. North Country is taking its time out here. 9:19 left in the second period. The assists again going to Daly and Vaccaro. It was one of those that was really tough to tell from our angle here, even though it was the closer net off to our left. And Vaccaro did take that second shot, but tipped apparently by TJ Moran, his second goal of the game. So he's got a shorthanded second goal of the game, second goal of the period, shorthanded goal, and a power play goal. 3-0 Rutland. Way back in after the North Country timeout. Maxfield pokes it ahead to Kahle, North Country zone near corner. Tried to center it. Marsh knocked it away. Morin behind his own cage. Stolen away in behind the cage by Gunther now. Gunther brought it toward the circle and ridden off the puck. Lamore with it. Trying to clear it out, but Carl keeps it in at the left point. Swats it in. Saved by Mark Sloan, and he covers up. 8:57 left second period. 3-0 Rutland. We'll have the face-off to the right of Mark Sloan in the North Country zone. Again, they gave the goal to TJ Moran.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that one on video. Boy, that was an awful close call.
Well, it doesn't matter. The Raiders get the goal. Play back in. It's along the near boards, North Country zone. The Falcons get it out. Marsh over the red line, over the Raider line, holds it. Skates it to the circle, trying to drop it, but nobody there, and the Raiders clear it out to center. And Rebel Sloan swats it off the far boards, and Shotwell backboard for the Raiders. Up to center, Daly got it to Casey over the North Country line. Swatted away, but it's still in the North Country zone. There's Shotwell's in forechecking. Comes to Casey, and Casey sends it from the near boards. A weak shot in on Mark Sloan, and he makes the easy save and hangs on. 8:28 left second period here at the University of Vermont Gutterson Fieldhouse. We'll have the face-off to the right of Mark Sloan. The Raiders have a 3-0 lead as they go for their first Division II state championship since 1983. It's been 12 years. They beat Colchester in the title game by a score of 7-4. Draw to the right of Sloan, and off the draw to Goodchild. Quick shot, glove by Sloan. Goodchild had the upper right-hand corner ticketed. So TJ Moran's got a shorthanded goal and a power play goal here in the second period. Moran on the draw, goes to Goodchild, flips it in wide of Sloan. Goes to the far boards. Goodchild got it back again, sent it to the end board. In there on the draw was Neto as he's seeing some action. Bozeman to Neto. Neto clears it out to center. Sam Hall for the Raiders. Chops it back into the North Country zone. Uri kicks it out to center. And it's poked back into the zone. Uri couldn't clear it. Moran in forechecking diligently along the near boards. Moran to the left wing circle. TJ Moran swinging around. Out to the point he wanted to go, but Frankie Vaccaro has to backtrack to the red line for the Raiders and send it back into the North Country zone. Labor got it out to center, knocked down. Labor got it back again, but the Raiders bring it back over the line. Campbell now to Goodchild, and he scores halfway down the slot. Brian Goodchild, and the Raiders have taken a 4-0 lead. 7:44 left in the second period. The pass right to Goodchild. The Raiders are on fire, folks. They're up 4-0.
Brian Goodchild took the one-timer. I think it was a pass from Campbell from the side. Boy, what a nice shot. Right in between the legs of Sloan.
Sloan doesn't appear to be as sharp tonight as we've seen him in the past. Campbell will get an assist. Brian Goodchild on the goal.
And number 16, Frank Vaccaro.
Vaccaro and Campbell on the assists, and Goodchild on the goal, and the Raiders have opened up a 4-0 lead. Play back in. The Falcons get into the Raiders zone, and backboard Matt Daly. Matt Daly starts it out left wing side for Rutland High. Got a 2-bar for Maxfield. Trickles to the North Country line where Rebel Sloan swats it out to center to the Raider line. Raiders get it back out. Daly had it knocked down, but skates it back out to center. Gets it to Maxfield over the North Country line. Maxfield top of the left wing circle, swats it in. Sticked away by Sloan. Morin tries to clear it away, but Kahle kept it alive to Gunther along the far boards. Gunther puts on a great move. Tries to take it out of the corner. Does. Sends it ahead to the end board of Kahle. Back to Gunther, side of the net. Kahle poking at it. And Sloan covers up on the far post as he smothers the puck, and we'll have a face-off here in the North Country zone. 7:01 left, second period. It's Rutland 4, North Country nothing. Is Jen Everett, Jesse Shotwell, Jason Johnson for Rutland High, with Frankie Vaccaro and Sam Hall at the points. Pair of goals for TJ Moran. Ryan Maxfield scored the first goal, and just a few moments ago it was Brian Goodchild as Hall is out and Daly is in now. Marshall on the draw with Shotwell to the far corner as it was won by North Country. Limoge had it and then got a return pass. Now Marshall with it up to center, and he dumps the puck into the Raiders zone to the end board and backboard. Frankie Vaccaro behind his own goaltender. Starts it out right wing side. Frankie Vaccaro up to center off the skate of Shotwell. Knocked away by Laberl on the near boards. At the North Country line, Johnson steers it into the Falcon zone. Would have been a delayed offside, and backboard is Eric Morin for North Country. Eric Morin along the near board, swats it out to center, and it hopped up into the bench area and out of play. So we have a stoppage in play with 6:31 left here in the second period. It's Rutland 4, North Country nothing in the Division II state championship game here at the UVM Gunderson Fieldhouse. On WSYB Rutland, Shotwell, Everett, Johnson, and Matt Daly. On the draw, Marsh and Shotwell. Looking at it, Jen Everett, Johnson got a shot away, but Labor stopped it in front and clears it out to center. Too far for Lindsey Moore. Backboard Daly ahead to Everett to Shotwell at the North Country line, knocked away by Labor. It's along the far boards. Finally comes loose to Marsh over the red line. Marsh got it to the Raiders zone, but it's poked out by the Raiders all the way back down on Mark Sloan. And we have a high sticking call here. Is this the high sticking penalty variety? Yes, it is, I believe. Nobody exact, and it's going to go against North Country. It's Sean Marsh, high sticking. Sean Marsh going off for North Country, and the Raiders go on the power play with 6:07 left, second period. And the Raiders are leading it by a score of 4-0. The draw will come to the right of Mark Sloan. He's on the power play. Out to Goodchild from Moran. Flips it in. Stopped in front. They're poking at it. It went off the stick of Daly. And as he trying to redirect it, Daly getting it back again. Daly in front. Backhander. Sloan makes the save. Covers up far post and hangs on. A minute 49 left on the Raider power play. 5:56 left, second period. It's Rutland 4, North Country nothing. Here at the University of Vermont Gunderson Fieldhouse. Moran in with Vaccaro, Campbell, and Goodchild and Daly on the power play. It's Colburn through Marshall. and labor for North Country. Marshall and Moran on the draw to the left of Sloan. Off the draw, Colburn trying to clear it out. Kept in at the point by Campbell. To the left point to Goodchild. Whistles it in. It goes wide, and it goes along the far boards for Frankie Vaccaro now. Goes down, gets it up again to the end board and sends it near corner for Matt Daly. To Moran, back to Daly. Daly looking out to the left point to Brian Goodchild. Goodchild whistles it in. Save on the rebound. Save again. Rebound off the stick of Moran. And I'll tell you, Sloan came up with a big one there. Moran gets it back again. Swings it to the circle. Left wing circle. Trying to squeeze it across the crease. And it went right off the stick of Vaccaro, but he plays it. And trying to go out to the point to Goodchild, but it comes out to center. Over for it is Campbell. Sloan came up big on the rebound off TJ Moran's stick. Campbell got it into the zone. Now Moran with it. Left wing circle. Fires in. Deflected high over the glass and out of play. 1:01 left on the Raider power play. 5:08 left second period. It's Rutland 4 and North Country nothing. And Mark Sloan came up with that big save off the rebound off the stick of TJ Moran.
Nice effort by TJ Moran. He had Sloan actually scrambling on the net there. He made a nice little nifty move, tried to tuck it in on the left side, but Sloan somehow saved that.
Gunther, Smith, and Kahle with Goodchild and Maxfield as the Raider power play continues. Draw in the North Country zone. Gunther trying to squeeze it loose, cut it to the circle, picks it up again, fires in, and it goes wide. And I believe we have a man in the crease.
Yep.
We have a stoppage in play. And we'll have the draw just outside the North Country line. North Country going with Lamourie, Limoges, Rebel Sloan, and Eric Morin. 53 seconds left on the Raider power play. Play back in. It goes to Maxfield, and he shoots the puck into the North Country zone from outside the red line, and that is icing. And so the Raiders will have the draw back in their own zone to the right of the guy in the zone, Mike Coppinger. Different type of zone, though. He's in the zone. 4:55 left, second period. Raiders lead it 4-0. 48 seconds left on the penalty to North Country Sean Marsh. Lamourie and Gunther on the face-off to the right of Coppinger. Off the draw, loose in the circle. Limoges lost it to Goodchild. Goodchild sends it off the near boards out to center, too far for Smith. Morin trying to swat it back into the zone. Morin got it back again and flips it way up into the air. And the puck goes in and wide of Coppinger. He leaves it for Goodchild. 30 seconds left on the Rutland power play. Ryan Goodchild starts it off left wing side for Rutland High. Goodchild sends it off the near boards, too far for Kahle. And this will be icing against the Raiders. 23 seconds left on the Raider power play, as we have 4:30 left in the second period here in the state championship game in Division II. Rutland 4, North Country nothing.
Yeah, the Raiders definitely have been doing what they set out to do. They've been testing Sloan, and they've been getting the rebounds, and that's the result, 4-0.
The face-off to the left of Mike Coppinger in the Rutland zone. Lamourie for North Country, TJ Moran for Rutland. And off the draw, Lamourie couldn't get a stick on it as he tried to go to Limoges. Goes to the far boards. TJ Moran with it. 15 seconds left on the Raider power play to Goodchild. Now to Daly over the North Country line. Daly drops it top of the circle for Goodchild to the left wing circle. Skates it in. Wanted to go to Vaccaro, off him to Daly. Wanted to go back to Vaccaro. And it goes to the far corner. The power play is over. Both teams at full strength. Vaccaro out to the left point to Goodchild. Knocked away by Marsh, who just came out of the box. Up to Lamourie. Lamourie over the Raider line. And he fires wide of Coppinger, played it off the glass behind his own cage for Campbell. Campbell starts it off left wing side, ahead to TJ Moran at center. TJ over the red line. TJ to the right wing circle, fires wide, near side. Goodchild kept it alive out to Daly at the point along the near boards. Matt Daly to the left wing circle, ridden off the puck by Rebel Sloan, but TJ Moran with it. Skates it along the goal line. In front, the backhander by Campbell goes wide. Moran got it back again and sent it to the end board. It comes along the near boards now, Lamourie. Lamourie tried to clear it out, kept in by Jason Johnson, flips it in, sticked away by Mark Sloan. Morin tries to clear it out, but Moran couldn't quite skate it down in the zone. Marsh still with it in his own zone. Moran picks it up. Moran brought down at the circle. Rebel Sloan comes over and swats the puck away, and they are going to call holding, I believe, on Rebel Sloan, and the Raiders are going to go on another power play here with 3:12 left in the second period.
It's
going to be Morin. It's Morin on the hold. And so the Raiders have another power play opportunity. The Raiders are 1 for 3 in power play opportunities to this point. This is their 4th power play opportunity.
on that last bid by the Raiders, the puck actually went behind Mark Sloan, and straddling the actual line, the goal line.
So and then how did it? Okay, so and apparently after that it was knocked away. It was
incredible that didn't go in. It's just incredible.
Raiders have had a couple of opportunities to increase that lead. Play back in North Country zone. Falcons get it out to center. Sam Hall from the red line dumps it back into the Falcon zone. And we have a whistle here. I don't know if it went out of play, come off the dent and back in, or what. Unless they called it offside, I'm not sure. At any rate, we'll have the face-off just outside the Falcon zone. 3:04 left, second period, 4-0. Raiders over North Country, and a minute 52 left in the Raider power play. Their fourth of the hockey game off the draw. Colburn sent it across the red line, but J.B. Smith steers it back into the Falcon zone. And backboard Scott Labor, bumped by Maxfield. Kahle in behind Mark Sloan, hit by Uri. Maxfield and Kahle there with Labor and Uri, all behind Mark Sloan. Labor digs it out, but he can't clear. J.B. Smith one times it at the point. It goes wide to the near corner. 3:38 left in the second period. Maxfield out to the left point to Hall. Hall flipped it in off Kahle, and it was knocked away. Now back to Maxfield. Save. Sloan goes to the end board. Labor over for it. Labor tries to clear it away. Kept in by Smith. Skates it to the right wing circle. Poked away. Comes along the near boards now for Ryan Maxfield. He lines it up, trying to center it. It was deflected and goes right to Marshall, and Marshall clears it the length of the ice. Coming down on a minute left in the Raider power play. 2:10 left in the second period. It's Rutland 4, North Country nothing here in the Division II state championship game. The Raiders started out of their own zone. Goodchild up for TJ Moran over the Falcon line. TJ had it poked away as it goes to Colburn. Sends it out to center and sends it the length of the ice. 42 seconds left on the Raider power play. Back forward is J.B. Smith. Lost it to Marshall in the Raider zone along the near boards. Bumped by Smith. And digging it out is TJ Moran, and TJ starts it out left wing side. 30 seconds left in the Raider power play. TJ over the red line, swats it into the North Country zone for Campbell to the end board. Gene Campbell down to Moran. Moran to the right wing circle, out to the right point to Daly. One times it. It goes behind is Sloan. Goodchild tried to skate it down. Marshall with it now. Still in his own zone. Goodchild in for checking. Digs it out for Campbell, left to right. Moran with it, top of the slot. Fires in. Kick save by Sloan to the far board. Rebel Sloan trying to dig it out. 3 seconds left on the power play. Labor back forward, tries to clear it out. Can't. Daly keeps it in. Power play is over. Both teams at full strength. Finally, the Falcons clear it back down to the Raiders zone. And coming way out of the cage is Mike Coppinger. So he left it for Frankie Vaccaro, but he's hit by Limoges, far corner. Less than a minute remaining second period. The Raiders lead it 4-0. Marsh digs it out at the end board, trying to center it, knocked away by Coppinger. Out to the left point to Labor, fires out, and Coppinger makes the glove save. Labor had the upper right-hand corner ticketed, and Coppinger came up with a glove save and hangs on. Mike is still in that zone.
Labor from Northfield took a ripper of a shot from the point. Coppinger is so confident in his glove tonight, I don't think anything's going to be stopping him here.
47 seconds left here in the second period. It's Rutland 4, North Country nothing. TJ Moran with a pair of goals here in the second period. One shorthanded, one on the power play. Goodchild with a goal. Maxfield also scoring. Give the Raiders a 1-0 lead in the first period. Play back in, Maxfield with it. And he sends it out to center, intended for Kahle, knocked away by Rebel. Sloan along the line, over for Sean Marsh. Poked away by Gunther, but Labor digs it out and sent it ahead for Marsh. He goes down as he's bumped. Now Lamori with it at the red line. And he whistles it in wide of Coppinger, played off the end board by Hall. 24 seconds left in the second period. As Gunther sends it along the far boards, managed to squeeze it out to center to Kahle. Kahle is bumped as Labor comes over, and the puck goes over into the North Country bench area and out of play. We have a stoppage in play here with 14 seconds left in the second period. Rutland 4, North Country nothing. As Gunther is in with J.B. Smith, Darren Kahle, Ryan Maxfield, and Sam Hall. Smith and Hall at the points. Marsh, Lamore, Moore, Labor, and Rebel Sloan for North Country. Off the draw, Gunther had it poked away by Rebel Sloan at the North Country line. It goes to Maxfield. Steers it into the Falcon zone, in behind Mark Sloan. And back forward is Rebel Sloan. And we have a whistle here and a penalty for elbowing. Another penalty against North Country. It'll be Lamore going off for elbowing. With 3 seconds left in the second period. So the Raiders now going on their 5th power play opportunity, and this will carry over into the 3rd period. And the draw will come, let's see, in the North Country zone to the left of Mark Sloan. Amore for elbowing. Raiders on the power play for the rest of the period. 3 seconds left in the period. Raiders have a 4-0 lead. As we get set here, it's taking them a while to decipher things, I guess. 3 seconds left in the 2nd period. Dr. Daly, Vaccaro, J.B. Smith, and Brian Goodchild on the draw. Nobody knew who to take the face-off for the Raiders. It'll be Gunther against Marshall. Put the puck down. Gunther can't find it. Finally, it goes to the far corner, cleared by Marshall to the far corner. As time expires, ending the 2nd period, the Raiders are 2/3 there to the Division II state championship. 15-minute
period here. He's going to have a tough job ahead of him.
Again, the Raiders have 1 minute and 57 seconds left on their 5th power play of the hockey game going into the 3rd period. The Raiders lead at 4-0. Goal by Ryan Maxfield in the 1st period, and a pair of goals in the 2nd period by TJ Moran, one shorthanded, the other on the power play, and a goal from Brian Goodchild. So here we go as we get set for the 3rd period. Still about 37 seconds before they get things started. Mark Sloan in the net for North Country off to our right, so the Raiders will be going left to right as we look out in the 3rd period. North Country going right to left as Mike Coppinger is in the cage off to our left for Rutland High.
Just to point out, one of the things that the Raiders have done really well tonight so far is they've shut down Andy Marshall, who's their high-flying gunner. And with doing that, plus they've been shooting from the point, getting the rebounds. And the rebounds is what's going to score on Sloan tonight. And that's what they've been doing.
Sloan's been tough, but you know, it doesn't matter who it is. I mean, you put up enough shots there. And I don't care if you're...
statistics will prevail.
Sean Burke, Patrick Waugh, you shoot the puck enough, you're going to score. Some nights it doesn't seem like you can shoot the puck enough. But all right, here we go as we get set for the 3rd period. The Division III title game tonight, won by Stowe over Union 32 by a score of 3-2. TJ Moran with Frankie Vaccaro and Matt Daly, Brian Goodchild, and Gene Campbell on the power play. Joshua Prue along with Scott Labor, Andy Marshall, and Harvey Colburn for the North Country Falcons. Minute 57 left on the power play for the Raiders. Raiders 15 minutes away from the state championship as the puck is down. The Raiders lead at 4-0. Campbell in his own zone. Campbell now to Goodchild. Goodchild back up, pass too far for Campbell, but right to Frankie Vaccaro over the North Country line. Frankie centers it across the crease. Daly couldn't get a stick on it. Out to the left point to Goodchild and TJ Moran. Skates it left to right. TJ to the right wing circle to Vaccaro. Vaccaro screams it in, saves Sloan. And we have a whistle. Daly was in the crease. We got a man in the crease. And we'll have the face-off just outside the North Country zone. 1 minute 34 left on the Raider power play. 14:37 left in the hockey game. 4-0 Rutland. TJ Moran and Marshall on the draw, goes into the North Country zone where Labor gets it out to center, but Campbell sends it back into the zone, and Labor sends it back out to center. Campbell at his own line for the Raiders, sends it ahead to Frankie Vaccaro at center. Pass to Daly over the North Country line. Daly leaves it top of the circle for Goodchild. Tried to poke it to Vaccaro, stolen away by Marshall, and he clears it the length of the ice. 1 minute 12 left on the Raider power play. Coppinger leaves it for Gene Campbell. Coppinger along the near boards now for Frankie Vaccaro. Vaccaro lost it in the zone to Marshall. Marshall lost it at the circle. Back for Campbell. Swats it around near boards for TJ Moran. TJ controlling up to center. Up over the red line. Sends it off the far boards for Daly. Chases it down at the circle. Tried to center it. Knocked away by Marshall to the end board. Goodchild poking at it. Now North Country controlling. 45 seconds left on the Raider power play as the puck is cleared back down into the Raider zone, and Coppinger leaves it for Campbell. 38 seconds left in the Raider power play. Campbell lost it to Marshall right in front, and Coppinger covers up as he smothers the puck. And that was awfully close, but Coppinger was right there to smother the puck with 34 seconds left in the Raider power play. As Campbell gave it up, 13:37 left in the game, 4-0 Raiders.
Yeah, Coppinger, very alert play there. He saw the puck was right next to the net. He jumped right on it without any hesitation at all. Great play.
Mike Gunther in to take the draw for Rutland against Sean Marsh of the Falcons to the left of Mike Coppinger now. Raiders have 34 more seconds left in their power play as Goodchild is off. He gets a breather. Off the draw, they're poking at it. Gunther to J.B. Smith along the far boards. Back to Gunther, 28 seconds left in the power play. Gunther's pass too far for Kahle at center, goes to the near corner. And back forward for North Country is Eric Morin. Swats it off the near boards, get it out to Limoges, who sent it out to center, but Maxfield with it for Rutland High. Maxfield's pass along the line, intercepted by Limoges. Limoges dumps it ahead and went off his teammate Marsh, and we have a holding call coming up here, I believe, against Ryan Maxfield. And 10 seconds left on the penalty to Lamourie of North Country. So they'll be skating 4-on-4 for 10 seconds. And then it will be a minute and 50-second power play for North Country. Just their second of the hockey game. 13-13 left in the game. 4-0 Rutland. Maxfield going off for holding. They'll be skating 4-on-4 for 10 seconds. When Lamourie comes back, North Country will have a minute and 50-second power play opportunity. Just their second of the game. The Raiders 1 for 5 on their power play opportunities here tonight. Campbell with Goodchild, J.B. Smith, and Matt Kahle. Draw just outside the Raiders zone. Off the draw, Daly has it his own zone for the Raiders. Sends it too far for Goodchild. Rebel Sloan fanned on it. Goodchild got it into the Falcon zone. Penalty is over to Lamourie. North Country on the power play as J.B. Smith clears it the length of the ice. And they call do they call that icing, or was that an inadvertent whistle? They had a stoppage in play here. I think they called icing, and they made a mistake because the Raiders were shorthanded, and we'll have a draw at center ice. 13 minutes left in the hockey game, 4-0 Raiders. So the draw at center ice. North Country on the power play for a minute and 47 seconds. Urey from his own line sent it up to center, but it goes right to Campbell as it was deflected by Marsh, and Campbell from his own line clears it the length of the ice. Around the boards, along the near boards, as Goodchild is in forechecking. But North Country on the power play. Labor getting it out to Marshall. Marshall up to center, stick handling. Marshall over the red line, over the Raider line. Skates it to the left wing circle. Marshall had it poked away by Daly, gets it back again. Right as center, and knocked away by Coppinger. It goes to Colburn in behind the net. Down to Marshall, in behind Mike Coppinger. Marshall tries to wrap around, knocked away by Daly. Marshall got it back again. Marshall, far corner, bumped by Daly. Marshall goes down. Marshall gets back up again. Plays the puck in front. His backhander save. Coppinger point-blank range. And Daly finds the rebound and clears it out to center. And Campbell knocked it down, but Urey with it now. And Urey directs the puck into the Raider zone. J.B. Smith got it out to center. Urey with it now at the red line to Marsh. Marsh backhands it into the Raider zone. And back forward is Matt Daly. North Country just disorganized on this power play. As the Raiders get it into the North Country zone, Urey lost it to Campbell. 38 seconds left in the North Country power play. Sent to the end board, swatted around by Mark Sloan for Carmi Colburn. Colburn starts it up the middle for North Country. Left wing pass now, it goes to Marshall over the Raider line, top of the circle. Whistles it in, saved by Coppinger, and it deflects up over the glass and out of play. 24 seconds left in the North Country power play. Ryan Maxfield off for the Raiders. 11:37 left in the game, and Rutland has a 4-0 lead. As Gunther, Moran, Vaccaro, and Sam Hall are in for Rutland. Lamourie, Limoges, Moore, Morin, and Rebel Sloan for North Country. Off the face-off, Vaccaro behind his own goaltender and swats it around far boards the length of the ice. 15 seconds left in the North Country power play as TJ Moran beats everybody to the puck in the Falcon zone. TJ along the near boards. TJ backhands it to the end board. 5 seconds left in the power play. Overboard is Morin for North Country. Sends it along the near boards, but Moran steals in the zone. Right wing circle. Weak shot in on Mark Sloan, and he swats it for Rebel Sloan. And Rebel swats it around far boards now for Limoges. I say swat, more like slow motion. Maxfield in forechecking. Penalty is over to Maxfield as he just came on. And both teams at full strength. And he got hit.
North Country, I think, boarding. I think they're going to be
And
calling.
we might have a call against North Country. We'll wait and see. 11:01 left in the hockey game. And the Raiders lead at 4-0. It is boarding against North Country. Maxfield just came onto the ice, and he was the one that really got hammered at the far corner as North Country did not cash in on the power play.
Dan McColgan. What? Rebel Sloan.
Rebel Sloan. Going off for boarding, so the Raiders now are on their 6th power play opportunity of the hockey game. And they will have the draw in the North Country zone to the right of Mark Sloan. On the power play, Vaccaro, Campbell, Goodchild, Daly, TJ Moran. TJ taking the draw with Lamore. Off the draw, the Falcons clear it back down into the Raider zone. Backboard will be Gene Campbell as Coppinger leaves it for Campbell. Gene Campbell sends it off left wing side for Brian Goodchild. 10:48 left in the game. Goodchild up to Campbell. Campbell up to center. Raiders on the power play. Campbell along the near boards. Gets right by Labor. Near corner now, North Country zone. In behind Mark Sloan. Campbell still controlling. Bumped by Labor, far corner. He goes down. Labor does, and TJ Moran digs it out. TJ out to the slot to Vaccaro. Fires and scores! Frankie Vaccaro! From halfway down the slot, a power play. It's Rockland 5, North Country nothing. 10:27 left in the hockey game.
Boy, we really saw that one develop. Frankie Vaccaro took the one-timer slapper. Sloan never saw it. He was right in front of the slot up high, and what a shot.
Frankie Vaccaro on the power play, and the Raiders have opened up a 5-0 lead. They're 10 minutes and 27 seconds away from the state championship. Frankie Vaccaro on the goal. Get to the assist here when we can. Play back in. That is a power play goal. Play back in the Raider zone. Casey with it. Casey bumped by Colburn. Comes loose to J.B. Smith. Knocked down by Marshall. J.B. gets it back again. Tried to clear. Kept in by Pruitt the point. Now with it is J.B. Smith. Clears it out to center off Casey. It'll go into the North Country zone. To the near corner. Casey on a chase. Bumped by Labor. Labor sends it in behind his own case. Shotwell is in forechecking. Now digging it out is Marshall, and he tried to send it out, but kept in at the point by Smith, top of the circle, whistles in, and the glove save by Sloan, and he hangs on. Vaccaro from TJ Moran on the power play. So the Raiders now are 2 for 6 in power play opportunities. Frankie Vaccaro, the senior, honorable mention Division II, from TJ Moran, a second teamer. It's 5-0 Rutland, 9:52 left in the hockey game. Shotwell on the face-off with Marshall. Marshall sent it to the end board, but Shotwell grabs it now. North Country zone. Now with it in his own zone is Limoges. Can't clear. Shotwell keeps it in. Sends it to the end board. Scott Labor with it. Trying to swat it away. Shotwell knocked it down. Shotwell all over the place. Shotwell right to left. Lost it to Carmi Colburn. Colburn up to center. Is passed to Limoges. Knocked away by Daly to J.B. Smith. Now Shotwell with it. Shotwell pumped by Labor, but he got it into the North Country zone. Falcons try to clear it out. And do. Marshall trying to knock it ahead, but with J.B. Smith knocked it into the zone, but it comes back out the other way. And here's Colburn, right wing circle, fires wide of Coppinger around the boards, near side for Marshall. Marshall lost it to Matt Daly. Daly starts it out now for Rutland High up to center, up over the red line, over the North Country line, and he's bumped, and he lost it to Moore. He was bumped by Labor. Moore sends it to Labor, left wing side. Labor sends it way up into the air out to center. And over for J.B. Smith. Swats it ahead for Matt Daly. 5-0 Raiders, 8:52 left in the game. Daly along the far boards trying to center it. Top of the slot, stolen away by Marshall. Swats it out to Colburn at center. Army Colburn for North Country over the red line. Over now to Limoges in the Raiders zone. Marshall with it, bumped back to Limoges, had it knocked down, digging it out. Well, Kahle couldn't. Labor at the point, whistles it in, deflected off the end board. Limoges had it knocked away by Coppinger near his post, and Marshall got it back again for Limoges. Limoges tried to wrap around, deflected, and it hit the side of the cage and stayed on the cage. And we have a stoppage in play.
Boy, that was a pretty scary moment there for the Raiders, because Mike Coppinger, he was trying to free up a defender's stick. It was his own player, was caught on the net. And North Country almost took advantage of that by wrapping it around the other side. But Coppinger was there and alert and made the save.
5-0 Rutland, 8:22 left in the hockey game. The Raiders are 8 minutes and 22 seconds away from the state championship. Play back in, it's in the Raiders zone. And it goes to the end board in behind Coppinger. Frankie Vaccaro ridden off the puck as Neto is in forechecking. We got a penalty coming up here. And it's played by Maxfield, and the penalty against the Raiders for cross-checking. So North Country will be going on the power play here with 8:09 left in the game. Raiders getting a pair of goals from TJ Moran, a goal from Ryan Maxfield, Brian Goodchild, and Frankie Vaccaro. This is cross-checking again on the Raiders, and Maxfield again going off. He was the Raider that was penalized before. So North Country going on the power play. He was penalized before for holding. This time he's off for cross-checking. Neto along with Ethan Bacon and Warren Postman, along with Warren and Rebel Sloan on the North Country power play. Raiders zone. Vaccaro backboard, trying to clear it out. Kept in by Morin at the right point, and a shot gloved by Coppinger, and he hangs on. He's still in that zone.
Boy, he's got a hot glove tonight. It's another big save by the gloved hand of Mike Coppinger.
North Country on the power play for 1 minute and 53 more seconds. Vaccaro, Gunther, Moran, and also Sam Hall in there, the 4 skaters for the Raiders. And the pass comes out to Moran. Moran to the red line on a rifle shot in on Mark Sloan, and to make a tough save, leaves it for Morin. Morin starts it out right wing side for North Country. Poked away, stolen away by Moran. In on Sloan. Moran shoots it in and went
back
across the
back of
crease.
him.
Oh my, he almost scored shorthanded again. Out to center, here's Postman for North Country over the Raider line. Tried to center it, knocked away by Vaccaro. Can't quite clear, kept in by Morin. Yes, he did clear as Morin is offside. Thought for a moment they weren't going to call it. 1 minute 23 left on the North Country power play. 7:32 left in the game. It is Rutland 5, North Country nothing.
That's the second bid by TJ Moran where the puck went in back of Sloan, all the way across the crease.
Across the line. Goodchild and Campbell, J.B. Smith, and Matt Daly in there for Rutland High as the puck goes back to Urey, sends it ahead now to Marshall over the Raider line. Marshall drops it now for Marsh, right wing circle, ridden off the puck by Goodchild. Goodchild up to Campbell off his stick all the way into the Falcon zone. Campbell will skate it down at the circle. In on Sloan, and he makes the save and covered up on the short side. All set to shout that one out. 1 minute 3 left on the North Country power play as the Raiders had a shorthanded bid there. 7:12 left in the game.
Yeah, the Raiders absolutely superb so far on the power play. That was another bid by Rutland that could have easily been a goal if Sloan wasn't on his toes.
Off the draw, Goodchild to Campbell. This shot goes in wide over for Sean Marsh for North Country. Marsh is bumped by Goodchild. Now Urey clears it out to center and backboard is Daly. And Kahle sends it off the far boards back into the Falcon zone, and backboard is Urey. 47 seconds left on North Country's power play, and they've got nothing going here. Marshall now skates it out to center. Marshall sends it ahead, right wing side for Marsh. Wanted to come back to Marshall, but it came out of the zone. Put him in offside as the Raiders' Brian Goodchild pokes the puck into the North Country zone, and backboard is Marshall. 28 seconds left in the North Country power play. Marshall over the line along the far boards. Ball's down, centers it anyway from his knees, knocked away, and Colburn with it. At the end board, he lost it to Matt Daly. Daly swats it around far side, over for Urey, but Campbell beats him to the puck, and it deflects up over the glass and out of play. 12 seconds left in the North Country power play. 6:21 left in the game, and it's Rutland 5, North Country nothing. The Raiders 6 minutes and 21 seconds away from the Division II state championship.
Yeah, Rutland here has to just keep their heads. They can't have any dumb penalties here. They got to really concentrate on getting the puck down the North Country end.
Glenn Neto taking the draw now for North Country to the left of Mike Coppinger.
Short one player, 2 players.
They're short 1 player.
1 player.
And here comes Shotwell out. They need 4 skaters. Still 12 seconds left in the North Country power play. Neto and Gunther on the face-off to the left of Coppinger. Off the draw, loose in the circle, and Gunther falls down, but it comes out of the zone. Marshall, though, from outside the line, shoots it in on Coppinger and makes the save, but I believe that's offside. And so we'll have the face-off out at center ice. 5 seconds left on that penalty to Ryan Maxfield. The Raiders 6:14 away from the state championship. They lead it 5-0. Neto On the draw for North Country at center, the Raiders side of the red line against Jesse Shotwell. Off the draw goes back to Frankie Vaccaro, and Vaccaro clears it the length of the ice. And that does the penalty. Both teams at full strength. Backboard Morin chops it off the boards, kept in. Far corner by Johnson in forechecking. Shotwell now lost it to Morin. Morin clears it out, and it trickles up to center as North Country control for a moment. But Bacon with it, and then gets bumped. Casey was there. Finally is backhanded into the zone, of the Raider zone by Rebel Sloan. And backboard is Frankie Vaccaro. Frankie sends it out all the way into the North Country zone. It will go in on Mark Sloan, and he'll leave it for Rebel Sloan. Rebel starts it out right wing side. Johnson in forechecking. Rebel's pass knocked down and sent to the corner by Shotwell. Backboard Morin, bumped by Johnson, still in the North Country zone. Postman comes over. Morin with it now, then he goes down. And a North Country in complete disarray. Neto got it out to center. Casey knocks it back into the zone. Rebel Sloan chops it into the Raider zone off the near boards. Length of the ice, this is icing against North Country. We'll have the face-off back in the North Country zone. 5:13 left in the 1994-95 season. It's Rutland 5, North Country nothing. The Raider fans, and there are a lot of them out here, up here tonight, a lot more than the other night. Of course, the bad traveling conditions, but they can sense a state championship, and it's 5 minutes, 13 seconds away. Play back in, it's in behind Sloan, but with it, Goodchild sends it out to the left point to J.B. Smith. One times it saved, Mark Sloan rebound, Goodchild saves Sloan, and he hangs on. 5:04 left.
That's exactly what the Raiders have to do. They cannot let up at all at this point. They got to keep pressuring Sloan and keep testing him. And if they can pop in a goal or two just to keep this thing from out of reach.
Jeff McFerrin, a senior, getting some ice time with Moran and Goodchild. Daly and J.B. Smith face off to the right of Mark Sloan. Marshall sent it to the far corner. And Morey sent it right in front of his own goaltender. Sloan had to stop it and leave it at the side of the cage. McFerrin gets hit near corner. Marshall now digs it out. Marshall starts it up now for North Country. Marshall sends it off the far boards, and it trickles into the Raider zone. Actually on the right wing side is Racine getting some ice time. The shot goes in, and the save by Coppinger. It came from the top of the slot. As play back in at center ice now. TJ Moran with it. Moran had it poke checked away at the North Country line by Prue. Moran goes down at center. Now Marshall with it over the Raider line along the far boards. Marshall now backhands it in front, knocked down by Matt Daly. Daly pokes it ahead to Goodchild. Got Moran with him. He goes to Moran. Moran in alone on Sloan. Backhander save. Goodchild scores on the rebound. Ryan Goodchild, 6-0 Rutland. 4:13 left in the season. 4 minutes, 13 seconds away from the state championship. Brian Goodchild scoring for Rutland High. The Raiders lead it 6-0 from TJ Moran. So Brian Goodchild has a pair of goals. Moran with a pair, Maxfield with a goal, and Vaccaro with a goal. 6-0 Rutland. The Raider fans can sense that first state championship since '83. Oh, that was a pretty play. Goodchild and Moran. Moran took the shot, and Goodchild scored on the rebound.
Yeah, that was a great play by Goodchild. He actually followed up the play on that one.
And the new North Country goaltender is Chad Gray. He comes in for Mark Sloan.
Yeah, he did a great job following that play. He did an excellent job following that play after TJ Moran had the bid, but just couldn't make the move. Sloan came up with a nice diving save, but Goodchild was right there for that rebound. That was a beautiful play.
So Sloan, who we've seen, this is our 4th time, just not sharp tonight. And Chad Gray is in there right now. The Raiders, who have a pair of goals from TJ Moran, shorthanded and on the power play. Ryan Maxfield, who got the Raiders started the other night, got the Raiders started tonight with a goal in the first period. And TJ Moran's next 2 goals in the second period, shorthanded, and then on the power play, put the Raiders up 3-0. Brian Goodchild's first goal put the Raiders up 4-0. Frankie Vaccaro and Goodchild scoring here in the third period as the Raiders now lead at 6-0. Goodchild with a pair, Moran with a pair, Maxfield with a goal, and Frankie Vaccaro with a goal.
31 saves for Sloan if he leaves at this point. It'd be 31 saves for Sloan.
Well, Sloan had a lot of saves tonight, but not, and he was peppered, but not quite as sharp. That's 12 in the first period, 12 in the second.
And that's a 7 with a slash. right?
How many what is that now?
A 7 with a slash.
Okay, 31 with a slash because they'll have the total saves for Gray. As they warm up the new North Country goaltender Chad Gray. 6-0 Rutland, 4 minutes, 13 seconds away from the state championship. We'll have an opportunity on our post-game show, and it will be a rather lengthy post-game show tonight, folks. Coach Glenn Olson should be up in the press box talking to us, and we prearranged Frankie Vaccaro, Brian Goodchild, TJ Moran, and Mike Coppinger. As Henry Alberico is in with Gene Campbell, Jen Everett, Sam Hall, and Frankie Vaccaro. We're underway here. After the new goaltender, Chad Gray, was put into the game, as Everett gets it to the end board, North Country zone. Campbell with it now. Back to Jen Everett, in behind Gray. Gray swats it away, goes back to Everett. Tries to center it, and it's stopped in front and swatted away along the near boards, but Hall comes over for it. Sam Hall now, stick handling, lost it to Morin. Tries to clear it out, kept in by Everett. And now here come the Falcons skating it out to center. And up to center is Moore. Moore over the Raider line. Moore right in front. The shot goes behind the cage off Jason Lamore. Had a bid, but it went off the glass behind Coppinger. Jen Everett clears it out to center. 3:34 left in the season. 3:34 to a Raider state championship as Campbell steers it into the North Country zone. Rebel Sloan steers it around too far for Lamore. Goes to Frankie Vaccaro. The Raiders 3:20 away from the state championship. They lead it 6-0. North Country controlling in its own zone. Pass comes up to Lamore, went right by him. Finally is poked out to center by Moore and then gets pinched along the far boards by Frankie Vaccaro. Alberico is over there. Finally Lamore sends it into the Raider zone, and back for is Sam Hall. Coming down on 3 minutes left to a Raider state championship. Sam Hall to Jen Everett, still in the Raider zone. Jen Everett trying to clear it out, kept in by Postman for North Country. Backhanded it to the slot. With it is Frankie Vaccaro. Skates it out to center. Frankie coast to coast over the North Country line, then lost it. And Rebel Sloan swats it ahead for Postman, then gets bumped by Campbell. But Vaccaro comes back over and goes to Kahle. Kahle over the North Country line. Poked away by Morin, but it goes to Maxfield. Maxfield along the near boards. Sent it in front, knocked away by Rebel Sloan to the near corner. Puck loose to the end board. Darren Kahle with it. Darren Kahle sends it across the crease to Maxfield as one-timer goes in behind the cage. Along the far boards, Daly to Kahle to the end board, and went by Kahle. Maxfield gets bumped by Morin and Rebel Sloan. They're poking at it. Now Kahle digs it loose. 10-12 left in the hockey game. Raiders that far away from the state championship. Gunther in at forward checking. Kahle trying to dig it loose for Gunther. Puck loose at the circle. Here's Maxfield in on Gray, and Gray's makes the save. And it makes the save off him and hit the back of the cage. It is indeed Gray in there, the new goaltender for North Country. I'm not sure if I said Sloan here in the last couple of seconds or not. But it is Gray, and finally the puck landed up on top of the net behind him. So we have a stoppage in play. 1:57 left in the 1994-95 season, what is turned into a dream season for the Rutland High Red Raider hockey team. They lead it 6-0 as Adam Walk is getting some ice time now with Daly, Shotwell, Casey, and Johnson. The draw to the right of Gray goes to Uri along the far boards. Finally, it's kept in by Walk. It came out of the zone. Johnson sends it back in. We're 1:48 away from a Raider state championship. Uri swings it around and manages to clear it out as the Falcons get it out to center. And skating it over the line is Bob Racine. Bob Racine ridden off the puck as he got it to the Raider zone far corner. Cleared away by the Raiders for Casey. Had it poked away. Casey trying to get it back again. Also in there is Ben Parsons. As knocking it away is Coppinger. We'll get a penalty coming up here with 1:24 left here in the hockey game, and the Raiders lead at 6-0. We got a penalty for tripping on Matt Daly. Let's see. Matt Daly will be going off for tripping, and North Country will be going on a power play here with 1:24 left in the game. The Raiders can just ice the puck here. Ben Parsons was seeing some action along with Bob Racine for North Country. As a matter of fact, Racine is in there right now. So is Parsons. He comes in. Marshall is in. Uri and Labor on the power play. 6-0 Rutland. The Raiders are 1:24 away from their first state championship since 1983. And I'm telling you, they played a perfect hockey game tonight. And of course, North Country will have the power play unless they score for the rest of the game.
Rutland, 2 minutes for tripping at
draw to the right of Mike Coppinger. Marshall out to Labor, top of the circle. Shot knocked down by Goodchild. Back to Labor. Wrist shot goes in wide with Racine at the far post. J.B. Smith tries to clear it out. Kept in by Uri. Sent it to the circle. Vaccaro sent it off McFerrin. And it's still in the Raiders zone. As with it is Racine. Racine goes to Marshall in behind Coppinger. Tries to turn around, knocked away by Coppinger. 1 minute left to a Raider state championship. In front it goes, and Coppinger makes the juggling save off the stick of Ben Parsons.
Boy, you can really tell that Coppinger really wants this shutout.
As Coppinger hangs on, 56 seconds left in the Raider championship season. They lead at 6-0, a minute 32 academically left on the North Country power play. The Raiders that far away, 56 seconds from a state championship. They lead at 6-0. The draw to the right of Mike Coppinger, bouncing puck, it's knocked away, but Rebel Sloan with it, left point, whistles it in, save Coppinger, and on the rebound, Postman shot, hit the crossbar and went over the net. When you're in a zone, you're in a zone, as Alberico clears it out to center. DJ Moran looking for it, Postman knocked it back into the Raider zone, and J.B. Smith finds it and clears it the length of the ice. 35 seconds left to a Raider state championship. Rebel Sloan swaps it around near side for Bacon and to Neto, but then Moran steals in the zone, then gets bumped by Rebel Sloan as he goes down. 22 seconds left in the Raiders championship season. North Country controlling in the Raiders zone as Moran shot deflected to the far boards by J.B. Smith. Postman with it. 15 seconds left. Postman at the circle. Trying to go to Bacon. Cleared out by Moran. 10 seconds left. Got a penalty coming up against the Raiders. Moran from the top of the circle. Glove by Coppinger. He hangs on with 5 seconds left. And the interference call, I believe, on TJ Moran. And actually in the final 5 seconds, as Daly's still in the penalty box, it'll be a 5-on-3 North Country opportunity here. Academic, to say the least. 5 seconds left. It's Rutland 6 and North Country nothing. And the face-off will come to the right of Mike Coppinger, and we'll count it down to a Raider state championship.
Mike Coppinger putting out all the stops in his senior year. This is a great performance by him so far, and he just proved it right there.
Glenn Neto will take the face-off for North Country. 5 seconds left. North Country has a 5-on-3 opportunity here. Maxfield put the puck down. Goes to Goodchild. 2 seconds left. 1. That's it. The Raiders are the Division II state champions. Their first championship since 1983. They beat North Country on the ice of Gutterson 6-0. They mobbed their goaltender Mike Coppinger, who's been in a zone for a while. And folks, he was in a zone tonight, to say the least. The Raiders dominating and the Raiders winning the state championship. We'll wrap it up after this timeout. 60 seconds. I guess I have a couple of more 60s to go, right, Bull? Okay, put the post. I got 2 minutes more. Okay, I'll take a couple of more 60s because we'll wait. We'll have a long post game here. What's that? Yes, and I'll take a couple of other 1 minutes and then JP Carrera, but we got a long post-game show here. Jack Healey back with Perry Bove as the Raiders mob their goaltender Mike Coppinger. They congratulate the North Country Falcons down below. Rutland High has won the state championship. It's Rutland defeating North Country by a score of 6-0, getting a pair of goals from TJ Moran, a pair from Brian Goodchild, Frankie Vaccaro with a goal, and also with a goal tonight, Ryan Maxfield, and he got things started as they're mobbing Coach Glenn Olson down below too. And I'll tell you, I can't be happier for a guy than Glenn Olson. When Glenn first came to Rutland in '89, the Raiders had a very good hockey club. They made it to the semis in Division I, and of course I played in Division I for another year or so. This club, of course, then lost a lot of people, and they took their poundings over the last couple of years, especially when Goodchild and Moran and Coppinger, especially Goodchild and Moran, because Coppinger's been around a couple of years, but the seniors, Frankie Vaccaro, night in and night out, they were beaten 12-1, 11-zip. They never quit, never gave up. We made a reference to a game here against Essex in which Rutland lost 16-0 2 years ago. And Mike Coppinger, that was the game in which Mike Coppinger congratulated the referee on a great game. This is a team that I'll tell you, if perseverance pays off, this is it. They win the state championship, and the Rutland High banner being skated around the arena here at the UVM Gutterson Fieldhouse by TJ Moran.